everybody, it's Rebekah from Resin Supplies Den and Ramsey Resin and Crafts. I just thought I'd come on and do a voiceover on this video that I made not that long ago when I was making all my Christmas earrings and Christmas sets, and this is just a few different ways you could use polymer clay. So here we have some bezels from Sharon. We also have some cutters. We have some acrylic rollers that I supply that have got texture on them, and also some cutters that I supply. And here we have a fantastic custom made mould by our very own Dennis. So let's get to it. So the polymer clay that I'm using is the polymer clay that I stock and sell on the group. It comes in these size of packets and it's currently sitting at £1 a shot. They're very easy to manipulate, they're very easy to condition. Here I'm just about to make a marble set, and this is the easiest way probably to do marbling, I find. So you get a couple of colours that you think would go together, and you condition the clay by rolling it together, cut it up into small slices and mix it in with some acrylic paint of your choice. I also go and add in some really nice silver foil as well, and give that a good mix in, and then we'll let that, I'll push that into sort of a cane shape, and then we will let that dry, and you'll see at the end of the video the marble effect that it gives. It's really cool actually. I'm mixing in some liquid Sculpey. This just reconditions your clay back together. Sometimes the acrylic paint can dry out a little bit and it doesn't like to stick together, but the liquid Sculpey acts as a sort of glue almost, and it glues the clay back together. So I'm just rolling this into a kind of sort of long oblong kind of shape, and we'll let that dry. I washed my hands and we'll start again. So I'm now conditioning some of our red clay. As I say, it's really easy to work with this clay. It's one of the softest clays I've used. It doesn't crack when it's cooling out the oven as well. So I ran this through my pasta machine a couple of times. When you're putting it through a pasta machine, you always put it with the crease down and the open ends to the top. That stops bubbles going into your clay. You don't want bubbles going in. So also what I've done is the flour at the sides actually cornstarch. There's a textured roller being used as well. So cornstarch actually I put on before I use cutters. It stops the cutters from sticking, and I usually rub it on the cutter as well. So I've used the textured roller. I supply those as well, and it's, there we go. You just brush the rest of the excess cornstarch away, and if there's any on before it goes in the oven, that's okay. It doesn't affect the bacon or anything. What you do when it comes out is I usually just dip them in a bowl of lightly soaped water and pat them dry, and that cleans all the excess cornstarch off. But it's a lifesaver. It stops especially the smaller cutters sticking to the clay. So that's a good wee tip there. Cornstarch or any flour really, but I prefer cornstarch. So here we've got the green coming in. Now I'm using an acrylic roller just to roll that out there. And I've run it through my pasta machine to get the right thickness. That was just once through the pasta machine. So rubbing it again with the cornstarch and again with the little cutters. I love those little boot cutters. They were so popular at Christmas. If I hadn't used cornstarch on them, the clay sometimes can stick and then you have to push it out. So this is like a fantastic tip. Highly recommend using it. Running it through my pasta machine again just so I can use the smaller tree for the little tree studs that I was going to do. See, it's starting to lift and stick because I never had enough corn flour on it. There you go. That's it. And if it does stick and pull up, because you've got corn flour, it just pulls right back out again. So there you go. That's those ones. What I usually do sometimes before I put the put them in, I usually run my fingers around the edges, and it stops, I don't have to sand as much afterwards. So I usually smooth and pat all the edges down. So here we've done the mittens in the red, again with the cornstarch. And there I am rubbing all the edges down again, just pushing all the edges in, and there we go. Okay, so now what I'm wanting to do is one of these bezels, from Sharon. So I've ran my black through the pasta machine, and I'm going to just slightly make a indentation with the basil. And this is beautiful crushed mother of pearl. That's actually from Becky on the group. I'm pushing it right the way through now, giving it a roll and taking the excess from around the edges. There we go. And then just smoothing it on the back, just tidying it up a little bit. And there you've got a pendant. Now when this comes out of the oven and it's top coated with UV resin, it's absolutely stunning. It's so shiny and all the different pieces really pop. Okay, so let's try that cane. Let's see if that cane's ready to be cut. So I just get a board and I slice it. There we go. So what I want to do is I want to put, when I'm cutting the marble, I want to condition some grey clay, and I will put each slice of the marble cane onto the grey clay, pass it back through my pasta machine again. There we go, look at that. And that'll open up the marbling. And I like to have like a kind of colour on the back as well. So you'll see what I do here. There you go. Now it's marble. And then I pick what bit I would like. And because it's a sort of kind of custom design I've made, I want to use it all. So I just get some smaller bits and make some studs and some other earrings out of that. So that's all used. Again, smoothing down each edge. So again, I'm just smoothing all these edges down just before I put it back onto the tray. I really liked how this one turned out. It was really pretty. So there you go, I'll give you a close-up of it. There's the marble. And again, when I put UV resin on that, it just popped. It was really, really, really pretty. And I put it on a long silver chain and in a gift box. Okay, so starting on to our next one, I'm breaking up some more black clay. Just running it through the pasta machine a couple of times. So here's a mylar stencil. I'm wanting to get into actually making these mylar stencils. These are fantastic. So what you do is you roll it into the clay like that, brush it with mica powder, lift up slowly, and hey presto, you have your design. It's so simple to use. If you let me know if anyone's interested, and I'll run some testers, but I'm really hoping to get into these as well as a couple of other things I'd like to talk about in a wee minute. These are really, really pretty. So when these are baked, the mica actually bakes into the clay, and then when it's topped with UV resin at the end, it's absolutely stunning. So this is another way, an embossing stamp. There we go. Can give you lovely textures as well. Again, here we go, brushing with cornstarch, and I used the little hat cutter on these. These are so cute, and they were really popular at Christmas. I loved making them. So I'm just using the knife blade and just cutting around some excess that we didn't need. So now we're using a custom mould that Dennis made for me for Christmas time. I love this mould. I'm using the angel shape just now for the white with the white. So you just basically push it into the shape of the mould and run the knife blade over very, very slowly and carefully, and take the excess off, and you're left with your beautiful angel or whatever shape you decide to use. What I did with that one is I used some of Yvonne's stunning glitters on the wings with UV resin, and they're so pretty. So I really like using the moulds. So because we're all resin users, we'll all have small moulds kicking about. So have a wee shot with polymer clay and see what you can come up with. You can make your earrings, necklaces, anything really. So again, just trimming around the edge. We're doing, I think I did a couple of those sets. Okay, so moving on to the bezels from Sharon. I love these. These are my absolute favourite bezels. I have loads of these. I need to do a restock soon. So it's just as simple as that. Just basically condition your clay, rolling it out, pushing your bezels in, using your acrylic roller, and that's it. Just cutting around the excess. And then again, once I've baked them like that, they're completely safe to bake like that at 135 for 30 to 35 minutes, and just top with UV resin. And it's as simple as that. So here I'm actually using, I've got a supplier that I'm using, these are called silk screens. So that's basically what you do with it. You condition your clay, flatten it out, and you put the silk screen on top, push it down, and you run acrylic paint over the top, and you're left with the stunning painted pattern. So I've actually started making these myself so I can bypass the supplier and keep the costs down for you guys. So I'm really excited to sort of get these going on the group, because these are brilliant. So that's your sort of gingham check. That was your kind of Aztec, your feral pattern. So there we go. So I'm just cutting out some of our trees. There we go. These are really cute. I love gingham check. Be really cute done with like on pink clay with like white for Valentine's. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'll take some pictures with my silk screens and show you how they've all turned out. But if there's any pattern that you would like or would like to see me do, then please just give me a message or write in the comments for the stencils or the silk screens, and I can get that sort of made up for you. So here are some of the finished products. There we go. You've got the hats there, you've got the gingham check trees and studs, then you've got the little Fair Isle boots. I made some of those, and that's just my large collection. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.